Well, Frank's going to make a move on this one. It's gone. Home run Clemente. And the Pirates 2, the Orioles nothing.
Here's Lemieux. The center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux. Oh my goodness. What a goal. What a move. Lemieux. Oh baby.
This is Live TV. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We got Chip Hayner, Smoking Jim Frazier, and we're doing another Pittsburgh Sportsline Live in the BP TV studios. So thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. Thanks for liking our page and our shows. We got 6,872 likes on Facebook. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if we can do the promos today because we got a rookie in here tonight. Got Alex came back and we're hoping for Jack and Zach, but I don't see them. I don't know if I can put this up. Well, that's my little promo for Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 412-831-1900. They sponsor our show with a pizza and a hoagie. Thanks to Frank Fanera that owns Olive Oil's Pizzeria. We appreciate it. It's right at Hillcrest Shopping Center, so don't miss it. Next little promo, see if I can get that up there on the screen. There we go. Got the Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. Can't beat it. 1905, the school was built. They just did a $140,000 roof, remodeled the inside. They have great events there coming up again, different things. I think they have a flea market coming up in February, so check that out. My favorite green tea place is Reginald's Coffee. Julie and Matt own the place. It's just great. I get my China gunpowder there, a pot of that. I might head there tomorrow and get some green tea. We'll see. But they're great. They have roasted coffee. They can make it up fresh for you. Just a great little location. Open each day from 7 till 2. So check it out. They even have Wi-Fi for you. Next up, in honor of Joey Fabus, who died before his 10th birthday with dreaded DIPG cancer. It killed him before his 10th birthday. They have the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. You can go online, check it out. We just celebrated his 5-year anniversary of his death last week, and it's just a sad state that he died before his 10th birthday. I think it was a month away. And they've raised over $100,000 to give to doctors to try to find a cure. They also help other families that have children with DIPG, and they try to help out people that have cancer too in the area. So check that out, the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Next up, let me see if I can maneuver this. All right. We got wanted Bethel Park groups and organizations. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you, from $100 to $5,000. They've been around for 25 years. They run different big events like the Bethel Bounty, where 300 plus people go to eat 20 different places that have food and things there. So check that out. And you can go to bpcf.org. They've given out over $970,000 over 25 years. So they help a lot of groups in Bethel Park. Check them out. Next up, Dave Cable likes to make a little fun of me, put my face on Uncle Sam, tell them Uncle Al Levine, the Talking Machine, wants you for BPTV. Look, we got new guy, volunteer Alex here, so we appreciate him here for turning the show and recording it. I want you for BPTV. Call 412-831-3304. Get a slice, Zach. Welcome aboard. See if you can adjust any cameras there when we need to there, buddy. Welcome aboard. And that's it. Call in, Talk to Dave Cable, 412-831-3304. You could be like Zach, getting a piece of pizza, directing the filming, the cameras, the audio. He does it all. He even does a backflip every once in a while when you ask him, since he knows some martial arts. And he doesn't want to live in Monroeville, and he knows what it's like to have be a pet owner, since he owns pets. He even gets to clean up after them, and he knows their names, unlike Smoking Jim Frazier. So we'll also have a sponsor of What's on Your Mind, Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station. They're, let me get their address. I grabbed that the other day. It's 6103 Route 88. Red, white, and blue building. Smoking Jim's been there. Smoking Jim, I got some bad news. I went to get an oil change in my tire rotation Monday. And the raccoons, both of them, snuck out. They have no more raccoons. They had a heating pad. They had a nice room. Skeets' mother fed them twice a day and cleaned their place up after them, and they're gone.
They so fat, how'd they make it across the street?
Smoking Jim, how do you get to your car? Sorry, folks. I'm not picking on them. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm here to witness. It's all shirt.
I'm just saying, when I get an XL shirt, he goes, hey, machine, can I get 5X? I go, no, but I can give you 5 shirts for all your sweeties.
Yay!
But check out Skeets, 6103 Route 88. They work on anything and everything that runs on gas. They have a forge. They have a axle place that they can get axles for your cars and trucks. They do all kind of work. Last week I mentioned that they started working on power electronic tools. They can fix them. They've worked on that for you, so they can do it, and it's just an unbelievable place. And just give them a call, 724-348-4715. Tell them the Talking Machine sent you to Skeets Service Station, Finleyville. All right, he sponsors What's on Your Mind. So I got to say, Smoking Jim, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green,
Here it comes.
you got the seed.
And you're dressed in
Levine.
green, yeah.
I feel like the greatest Steeler linebacker in their history, T.J. Watt, going 90 yards in a Pro Bowl for a touchdown.
Oh, did anybody watch that?
I did.
What game?
T.J. Watt,
What game?
Pro Bowl game.
I never
Looked
saw
good.
one.
they
When
was
did they
there.
play that?
You never seen a white guy move that
No.
fast. He was outrunning them brothers, man.
Yeah,
It's not even for real.
Any game where they don't tackle is not a football game.
Yeah.
But hey, yesterday I was at the Steeler offices and stole me a few of these nice little pens. It took me a while to figure out how to use it, but I
Good.
want
You
to
couldn't read
thank.
the instructions?
I know it's a nice.
He went to
pen.
Gateway, folks.
I want to thank the Pittsburgh Steelers for inviting me again this year to help them with the draft. This will be my 20th year, not counting the 3 years they fired me. We don't count those. But
So it means actually 17 years.
17 years, 17 out of the 20 possible years. But
That's good.
I tell you what, I told them 3 things they need to do.
Okay.
1, get rid of Ramon Foster.
Yeah.
2, get rid of Artie Burns.
Yeah.
And Kevin Colbert needs to fire his son Dan. Dan Colbert couldn't spot a football player if Santa Claus brought and put Lamar Jackson under the Christmas tree. But
Wow.
hey, but I tell you what, I got a new hobby,
Tell us about it.
and I tell you what, it was the best. 3 times a day now, I get a massage. And I tell you what, I've never really had a massage before. I'm in love with it.
What's his name? What's
TMI,
his
Jim.
name?
There ain't no guys touching
TMI.
me.
TMI.
But have you guys ever got a massage before? Is it worth it?
What goes on behind closed doors stays behind
Oh,
closed doors.
okay.
I've
How
had a
about you?
massage
Man, it's great. 3 times a day, 6 days a week now. I get a massage.
I
I'm
even
more-
go to Reverse Aging Energy Spot, 1786 North Highland, that Diane has invited you there.
Can I
She
go
has
there?
massage chairs.
Does she?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Well, she's told you the last year or so, but she doesn't figure you'll be here since you live in
I
Monroeville.
want to get with your guy too that does the freeze closet, whatever they do there, the oxygen stuff.
Oh,
I
AHN.
want to get with all
Frank.
of that.
Frank.
If it's anything like a massage,
Well, the only problem I'll have to warn you is, unlike AB, you may have to put on some little booties.
you gotta get some. Have the right footwear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
and they're not going to do it gratis.
What does that mean?
Means
Free.
it'll cost you.
Yeah, I don't mind.
They said if you have an extra $250, they could take you in there.
And that's
Is
dollars.
that what it costs?
No.
Okay.
And that's dollars, not pounds.
Whoa, Chipper, that was excellent. Excellent, Chip.
But
Excellent.
hey, what's on my mind is everybody. Soon as anywhere I go now, people like we love your top 10. We need more of your top 10.
All
So-
three of those people. I
So-
saw one guy out of 300 people said, "You're the best at top 10."
Did you see that?
I saw that because I was going to put like to it, and I said, "No, I don't want 300 people showing up on my Facebook page."
But hey, here's the top 10. I was inspired by Donnie Shell for finally getting in the Hall of Fame. So here's my top 10 safeties that should be in the NFL Hall of Fame. Number 10C, Scott Case. Number 10B, Ed Meagher. How about number 10, Cornell Lake? Cornell Lake should be in my opinion. How about Chuck Cecil? How about number 8C, Dennis Smith? 8B, Steve Atwater. 8A, Joey Browner is not in the Hall of Fame. Hard to believe. How about the late, great Don Rogers?
What number is he?
Number 20 from the Cleveland Browns, Don Rogers. How about Lawyer Malloy at 7A? Should be in the Hall of Fame. How about Cam Chancellor? Legion of Boom. How can he not be in the Hall of
He
Fame?
hasn't been retired for 5 years.
How long he been retired?
Two and a half.
Jim. Go
Oh,
ahead.
Two and a half, maybe. 3.
But do you think he'll get in when he's retired?
No.
There you go. How about number 5B? This guy been retired.
Well,
Should
you
be
got
in.
20 on your list.
How about Jake Scott? You guys all remember
I
Jake
remember
Yeah, I
Scott?
Jake
remember.
Great
Scott. He
safety.
played for the 72 Dolphins.
72 Dolphins was a great player.
Yeah,
How
but
about
they were no-name
What
guys.
number was he? Number
13.
13. Yes,
13,
he was.
Jake
Very
They
Scott.
were
good.
no-name guys.
yeah, the no-name defense. I don't
So
think
they don't
anybody's
they
in.
don't deserve in.
I don't think anybody from that
No,
defense
that's
is
'cause
in.
they were
Maybe Nick
no-name.
Bonacarni is
No,
in. I
they were
think.
all no-namers.
But how about 5A? I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he should be in eventually. Troy Polamalu. How about number 5? How about number 4? Bobby Dillon is not in the Hall of Fame. Hard to believe. How about number 3? Should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, John Lynch. Probably going to win the Super Bowl this year.
You're just
GM
sucking
San
up
Fran.
to him because the team's good.
I love him. How about number 2? Rodney Harrison. How could he not be in the Hall of Fame? And the greatest safety of all time, in my opinion, they say Deion Primetime Sanders took over half the field as a cornerback. This guy took over the whole middle. Nobody went over the middle on Jack Tatum and lived to tell about it. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Just because he hit the ball that Franco caught. I agree.
He knocks a lot of people
He
out when
hit
it
the
comes across
ball.
middle.
He hit the ball for the immaculate reception.
And Chipper agrees with my list. My man Chipper.
No, he don't.
No, there may be one, maybe two on that list that
Jake
you know,
Scott?
and Troy will go in this Saturday. Mark my words.
Don't deserve it, but yeah, he'll go in.
Nope.
They need a Samoan in there.
31 interceptions. That ain't bad.
That's hardly.
ain't
Donnie
bad.
Shell had 51.
That ain't
And look
bad.
how long it took him to get in, but they need a Samoan to go
No,
in. so.
because they, 2/3 of the team he played on was in, and it was biased against him.
Don't-
Why is
Troy
LC
Polamalu?
Greenwood not in? Why is LC Greenwood
They
not?
didn't like his shoes.
L.C. Greenwood's in Canton.
No, he's not.
He got buried in Canton, Mississippi. I interviewed LC one time. He said no
told
matter
us the
what.
story.
He said no matter what, I'll be in Canton. I'm like,
You
really?
told us the
He said,
story.
I'll be getting buried in Canton, Mississippi. I'm quick, ain't I?
Yeah, but it's all news.
Not as you once were.
Throw me a softball.
Yeah.
Throw me a softball.
No.
Give me a repeat.
We got to
All
toss.
right.
We got to toss him a beach ball if he's going to hit it out of the park.
Well, he was a baseball player that nobody ever witnessed him play baseball. I've asked all his friends in the past. They go, he's a secretive guy, but he never told me he played baseball.
I love the game.
Well, you don't know much about it, but Babe Ruth still doesn't like the Pirate fans, just so you know. Thank you, Smoking Jim Frazier. Chip Hayner, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind? You know, we've got a new regime that is now running the Pittsburgh Pirates. And last weekend I was down at
Thanks,
Pirate
Zach.
Fest, and it was really kind of refreshing to be able to chat with some true Pirate fans, true fans of the game of baseball. And a lot of people are excited about the changes that have been made so far with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then you get the local media and the Twitter hordes.
Yeah.
And I, you know, like in a horde, like in a group of people, I want to make sure that people don't misconstrue what I'm trying to say.
Explain it again, the Smoking.
So, you know, words going out, Pirates aren't making any moves, blah, blah, blah. What's going on with the Pirates? We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know how they're going to do it, you know, and you have to take into account management is now probably into its 6th week of evaluating the team. So they don't have a lot of answers to a lot of questions right now. So it would really be kind of foolish to be making a lot of moves. So subsequently, what narrative starts being pushed again? Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates have the 2nd lowest payroll in baseball.
Sure.
And it's in the middle of January.
No Marte
So
Parte.
now we're gonna complain about the Pirates not spending any money when, you know, is it really any surprise considering everything that went on in the second half of the season and what's going on now? You know, right now they're trying to get their feet underneath them. Right. So yesterday, what do the Pirates do? They make a trade, okay? And they make a trade that's been in the works for probably the last 6 weeks, ever since Ben Cherington took over control of the general manager's position. And, you know, it made sense to trade Starling Marte. You know, I felt that if the Pirates could not get a good return for what for Starling Marte, then they couldn't be any worse off if they kept him. But Starling Marte, in and of himself, wasn't going to carry the Pirates to the promised land ever, okay? Starling Marte was an inconsistent player. He had moments of greatness. You know, he won a couple of Gold Gloves, last one being in 2016, which is, well, let's put it quite simply, it was the last decade, okay? So it was a while ago. So they got 2 of the top prospects from Arizona. And so Ben Cherington's being interviewed yesterday, and everybody's making a fuss over some of the things that Ben Cherington said. And they're more upset because he said he would not say that this is a rebuild. I just don't understand why people can't just be patient. All right, the Pirates made some pretty drastic changes over the last few months. They fired the president of the team. They fired the general manager of the team. They fired the manager. They got rid of their pitching coach. They got rid of most of the coaching staff. So, you know, right now, as far as I'm concerned, the Pirates have a get-out-of-jail-free card for quite some time here because we don't know what kind of team they're going to put on the field come April when the season starts.
I know.
And certainly complaining about what the team's payroll is in January is about one of the most foolish things that I've ever heard of. But this is the narrative that people want to keep on pushing because everybody wants to put out negative about Bob Nutting, negative about the Pittsburgh Pirates, negative about the way that they are forced to do business in the environment that exists in Major League Baseball. So once again, here I am looking forward to another Major League Baseball season. Now, in a few weeks, the Pirates pitchers and catchers are going to report to Bradenton, and we're not going to know what kind of team they're going to put on the field this year until they put them on the field and they make all the moves that they're going to make. So instead of microanalyzing the first statement that comes out of the general manager's mouth or crying about the salary dump because we got rid of Starling Marte. Anybody that didn't know that Starling Marte was going to be traded at some point this year has got to be pretty good and foolish. And you have to understand this. The value that they got for Starling Marte was at its highest right now. Say he goes into the season and he gets himself hurt again. Oh, let me guess. He's done that every year he's played for the Pirates, and he doesn't play for the first 2 months of his season. Trade value goes down. Say he starts out and he's only hitting 230, and he's got 18 singles and no home runs, and he gets thrown out 4 times trying to steal out of 5 attempts.
And he don't run out a couple of
and he lets fly balls drop in front of him. Do you think you're going to get any value for him? So, the Pirates made a move that I think, they had to make, and ultimately it's going to make the team better in the long run. People just need to be patient and let this new management group figure out what kind of team they have. The one telling statement I did hear from Ben Cherington when he was interviewed Saturday at Pirate Fest, and I was there, was we need a whole lot of talent on this team because Neil Huntington traded away all of our good talent, and if you want to see some of our good talent, they became all-stars for Tampa. They became quality players for other teams, and it's embarrassing that we drafted them and started developing them and transferred them to somebody else, and now they're superstars on somebody else's team.
How about all the pitchers in the World Series and playoffs?
So I'm not going to buy into the narrative that's being pushed. I'm going to watch and see what happens. And you know what? I'm going to enjoy this baseball season. Want to know what's on my mind? That's it.
Thank you, Chip. I appreciate that.
Good job.
And Smoking Jim didn't know they were getting rid of Marte because he thought it was going to still be a parte for Marte.
I didn't think they would continue to get rid of their best players, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, you
Well,
are.
you know what? And to be honest with you,
Do you like who they got for?
you know what?
I don't know.
Here's what. The guys that they picked up, it's a risk. Okay, it is always a risk when you get young talent. But the reports I heard back, the one young man, 19 years old, first draft pick for the Arizona Diamondbacks last year. They say he is projected out to be a number 1 or a number 2 starter. He's got a lot of upside. The second kid, a shortstop, 19 years old, his first year in organized baseball, absolutely tore the league up. Okay, so these are promising young players. That we need a lot of promising young players. Now this is the business model that the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's have used to become top 10 teams in Major League Baseball in the last decade.
Yeah.
And they are among the lowest payroll teams in the league. So it can be done.
Well, let me give you a little credit before you continue to go overboard,
No.
comparing the Pirates with great teams like that. But I will say this: you make a good point that Marte got hurt a lot, so that's a really good point.
He spent at least 2.5 months on the injured list last year. He did not play in September, and after he collided with the shortstop, he was out 4-6 weeks.
Yeah.
So and you know what? And that's really what I think made Marte tradable, because when Brian Reynolds came in and showed that he could play center field, that
Now all
made
of a sudden
Starling
they got
Marte
a guy.
expendable.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was because he couldn't speak English.
No comment.
Thank you. I almost forgot what's on my mind. What's on my mind is what's on ESPN's mind. Kobe Bryant died in a tragic accident, helicopter accident, with 8 other people, including his daughter. Very sad. I have mixed emotions about him because of some of the. He was a flawed human being. He did a lot of great things, but they changed laws in Colorado because of the rape charge that he got exonerated from. But it affected that lady and her life, and he even wrote an apology to that lady and her family, apologizing for his actions, even though he wasn't convicted. And the mysterious thing about it, he was newly married, bought a $4 million special diamond ring, I forget what the color was, for his wife to try to make up and apologize for his behavior. Then he went out, had a legendary career, helped a lot of people, had 4 daughters, and did a lot of great things in the community. So that's what people were reflecting on. But there is always another side to people, and some of it was newsworthy. Some of it wasn't, and I think people deserve a second chance, although I'm not for any abusive type people, but he did make a difference in a lot of people's lives. So I give him some credit there, and since it's on ESPN 24/7, every time I switch to it, they're talking about him or having interviews. So I guess it's on people's minds, and I figured you guys, since you're sports fans, it'd be on your mind, because I know a lot of people that looked up to Kobe, that play sports, and even a lot of the players in the NFL looked up to him, NBA, of course, and others. So may he rest in peace, and God bless his family and all his friends. And it's even sad about the baseball coach that won a championship last year and coached at a college for 27 years, died in the helicopter crash too. So those people all mean something too. It's not just about Kobe and his daughter Gianna.
One of the tragic things about Kobe's passing, and and everybody's passing that was involved in the accident. Kobe was taking his daughter, who happened to be born on the same day as he, August 23rd, to a basketball tournament, and this young lady was going to be the next great female basketball player. And it's tragic. But I felt the most heartbreaking thing is his wife just had his fourth daughter this summer, and he's got a daughter now that's never really going to know her father. No. And that's really, really sad. The little girl's going to grow up with no dad, and there are a lot of tragic things involved with that accident. May he rest in peace, and we can move on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of parents have a favorite child, and looked like that was Kobe's favorite child.
And
I never really seen him with his other kids.
Well, I'll just tell you, most families may have a favorite child, but unlike Tomlin, they don't tell that child that they're their favorite, because they want them all to be treated equal. Now, I know Smoking Jim was not the favorite child in his family because of all the mistreatment that he received. And he doesn't realize all the good treatment he got from both his mother and father, but that's just Smoking Jim, and that's what made him Smoking Jim. But we'll try to get beyond all that smoking, in spite of your opinions there. All right, we're going to come back. If the boys in the control room can bring us fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac, please.
My man Alex and Little Z. We need an MMA guy at Gateway. I'm recruiting Little Z, man. We're
I'm his
making him a
agent.
superstar.
He said the price is $260 a day,
What is that?
$260 a day.
I gamble $250 a day, so we can swing that.
That's
brother.
what I knew. I hit the number.
swing that.
I hit the number. I get 10% of that.
Well, the casinos is getting 30%.
I only get 10. I'm a fair guy.
That's cutting in on my tip.
I'm a fair guy. You ain't tipping them nothing. You're gambling it.
But
And if you don't bet, don't start. And if you're already a gambler, do the opposite.
well, to let everybody know, I'm going heavy. I'm a Duquesne University fan. I like the way they do things. LeBron James is high school coach.
Duquesne what?
Their coach University basketball.
Duquesne University.
But I'm
Okay.
putting a house on Dayton tomorrow night. Woo! Dayton may win the national championship.
You heard it here, folks.
In my unofficial bracket,
How many
I got
points
Dayton
you getting?
winning. Huh?
How many points you getting?
No, I got to give a lot of points. Dayton ranked 7th.
How many you giving?
Too many.
Take the points.
Too many.
Take the points, folks.
But hey,
Just saying, buddy. Go ahead.
But the fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac is Kobe Bryant. First of all, a lot of people don't know that I'm a journalist, and as you know, even though
When'd you become a journalist?
yeah, I guess, but
I never knew.
But working for a newspaper over 15 years, the newspaper I work with is only once a week. So the newsroom is not as crazy except for the day before we go to print.
You can tell us what they're called, because I promote
Yeah,
everybody.
the Pittsburgh Courier.
All right.
The oldest black newspaper in the country, but
Are they still national?
not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, they took that away.
Are they available
they
online?
Went, they went away with Jackie Robinson.
Are they available online?
Yeah, you can get them online.
All right.
But the reason I bring that up is because now when you got TV and social media, my only problem, everybody know I love Facebook. is that a lot of times somebody die in your family, Chip, and it's on Facebook before the family gets notified. And that's what's happening now in these different newsrooms and on TV. You know, you figure TMZ does this all the time. ABC News said that all of Kobe Bryant's
Yes,
4
they did.
kids died in the crash.
And that guy should be fired.
He should be fired
Yeah.
because they're not checking their, you know, they're
No,
trying to be first with the
Everybody
story.
wants to have the hot take. They
Exactly.
want to be the first person out and put their name to it. They got to tweet this. They got to tweet that. Kobe's wife found out from TMZ that, that her husband died in an airplane.
What a way.
What's that? ESPN said Rick Fox was on board. I don't know if that broke anybody's heart, but
It
you
may
know,
have.
Yeah, it
His
may have.
family.
Yeah. How about
Just think if we heard Smoking Jim Frazier was on that helicopter.
yeah?
I'd be heartbroken.
Yeah.
I don't think it was big enough.
And then
They have a trailer.
Then I don't answer my phone.
They have
so
a
that's
trailer.
so that makes it worse.
They have a trailer. They could carry him.
But how about MSNBC accidentally dropped the N word and the poor girl ended up getting fired for that, which I don't think that should have been.
I beg to differ. It's not what she said, but that's
Still
what she got
sound like
accused
it,
of.
though.
Now, I'm not going to repeat it because you know what? I'm not going to go there. But people were just sitting there, they're like vultures, waiting to pick the
I heard
flesh
she
off a
didn't say
carcass.
it.
She's from Pittsburgh. She's from Pittsburgh.
I heard she did not
She
say
did
it.
not
and she's
say
not
it.
even that person.
I listened
Yeah,
to it. I
that's
listened to
why I
it a
wouldn't have
number of
fired her.
times. But they don't have any choice.
Even if she said it
Doesn't matter. If you say-
accidentally, I wouldn't have fired her because she's
She
not
didn't.
that type of person. You got to take in people's character.
But it doesn't-
She's reading off a teletype.
She was tried and convicted
Teleprompter.
in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, and that's a shame. But hopefully she'll land on her feet.
Where?
You know what? I never knew. Well, she could marry. She could marry a rich guy.
Smoking Jim, are you available?
Yeah, she's beautiful. She used to date one of the Penguins, but I never knew Kobe was this popular. But
What
you
happened?
guys can relate. It reminded me of when Roberto Clemente went down. That's the closest thing
You
I
don't
can
even
think
remember
of.
that.
Yes.
You weren't born yet.
Well, the one thing, the similarities are one, they both was killed in the aircraft. They're both black, and that's some of the similarities. But the fiction and fact from Smoker Jim's Almanac is I seen Kobe play in high school in '96. Played down here in a round ball game, and a lot of people don't know. I didn't know him. My dad was familiar. I went to the game with my dad. But Jelly Bean Bryant is Kobe's dad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Played with
remember.
Dr. J.
Played with Dr. J and some others. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But his dad was assistant coach at LaSalle at the time, and Kobe signed with LaSalle out of Philadelphia. Now, me being black, but
Really?
When?
But I grew up in an all-white neighborhood, went to an all-white school,
Oh,
but I'm still black.
Yeah.
But the but the inner city black kids in basketball at that time, even though it was how many years ago was that? 96, a long time ago.
45.
96?
96, 20, 25 years.
25 years. So you had the inner city black kids had no respect for Kobe because he played in the suburban areas of Philadelphia. So they feel like you had to play in the inner city of Philadelphia, Chicago, New York to be a great basketball player. So when Kobe came, it was a 50-50 chance him going straight to the NBA or going to LaSalle. Well, he announced that he was going to the NBA, so LaSalle did the right thing. They fired his dad, who was only on staff to get Kobe. Kobe came, didn't win a slam dunk. Honest to goodness, he was a face in the crowd. Me and my dad were saying, please don't go to the NBA, you're not ready. And we were all wrong. From day one, in
Folks,
Carolina.
that is not the first time. Don't bet Dayton.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Carolina, I didn't realize till this week, drafted Kobe, and Jerry West, the great Jerry West, traded
Made a trade.
on draft day to
Because
get
he knew
Kobe.
the skills this young man
Yep.
had.
And Jerry West,
And he
one of
was
the
a
greats.
legendary player and GM.
I hope they don't change the logo. They're talking about changing the logo, putting Kobe. I like the Jerry West logo.
Okay.
But hey, that's what's on my mind. I seen Kobe play in high school. I begged him not to go to the NBA, and he proved everybody wrong. What a great player.
Thank you, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Him and Roberto Clemente, two of the all-time great blacks.
Thanks, Smoking Jim.
May they rest in peace.
How's Puerto Rico, by the way?
Had another earthquake on
Another
Sunday.
earthquake, buddy. You know that's an island, and they're a part of the United States. They're a
I found
territory.
that out last week.
They're a territory.
There was another earthquake between Cuba
Trivia.
and Jamaica.
Yeah,
today.
7.7. I saw
Wait,
it,
there's really an earthquake
buddy. There were hundreds of them on Puerto Rico.
recently.
Yeah, you missed the news. They don't report that because they're talking about racist stuff.
No,
you know?
because they're trying to misreport the news.
Yeah,
Everybody wants the hot take.
yeah.
This is just live TV.
All right,
We're waiting for the.
Can't wait to
waiting
leave.
for
so
my
I-
lead in.
Can't wait to
but,
leave so I
if
can get
it's
my
not
third
here,
massage today.
all right, everybody. We will carry on. This is live TV, and this weekend is the weekend of the big game.
What game?
All
For a
right,
while.
everybody. So this weekend's the weekend of the big game.
Yes.
And what big game is the big game? Because
The
for some
biggest
reason, a lot of the broadcast stations can't use that word.
No.
I don't understand
That's
why.
why I asked.
So
what
I
big
was
game?
sitting there thinking, and I was like, well, okay, how about if I pull up Super Bowl records?
Okay.
Half the phone book later. Okay. So then I decided I was going to go through and I was going to pick some records that I think might have the potential to fall in this game. Because there are so many ridiculous records. It's like, how many pimples are on Tom Brady's left hand and,
I got
and
money
so
on
on
the
and forth.
over.
So here are some of the things that I think are records that could fall. Because if you saw what happened in the conference championships, a lot of points were scored.
I watched
A
them.
lot of offense. Kansas City with a high-flying passing offense. And how about those San Francisco 49ers with the ground game?
Yeah.
I mean, their quarterback doesn't throw the ball at all. So here are some big game records that could potentially fall this weekend. Most rushing attempts in a game. 38 by John Riggins.
Wow. I remember
Okay,
that.
way back at Super Bowl
What a
17.
horse.
Most rushing yards in a game. A record was set in the conference championship by one of the 49ers running backs, and I can't remember
Motion or something.
Mozart, anywho, longest run from scrimmage. Fast. Willie
Willie
Park
Parker,
on 75 yards. Most rushing touchdowns in a game. 3 in one game, Terrell Davis.
Wow, headaches.
Highest average gain per attempt, minimum of 10 attempts. Tom Matte of the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. Longest touchdown run by a quarterback. Pat Mahomes did some magic
Yeah.
artistry on Colin Kaepernick, Super Bowl 47,
Wow.
How many yards?
15 yards.
Is that all?
Most rushing yards in a game by a quarterback. Once again, Steve Air McNair when he played for Tennessee against St. Louis. Now, we've got two of the premier tight ends in football going against each other this weekend.
That's right. Good
Travis Kelce and
Kittle.
Kittle.
George Kittle. So, most receptions in the game, 14 by James White in New England versus Atlanta. Most receiving yards in a game by a tight end. Rob Gronkowski, 116 yards.
Wow.
Most receiving yards in a game by a running back. 110, again by James White with the Patriots in Atlanta. So these are some records that I think could fall. Most points in a game. San Francisco versus Denver, 55 points. Most consecutive points in a game. Scored by the Washington Redskins and Doug Williams against the Denver Broncos. Most points by a losing team. New England versus Philadelphia, 33 points. Okay. Largest margin of victory.
Oh.
There's the potential for that because look what the Chiefs did in the divisional round.
Yeah.
They scored 41 unanswered points, did they not?
Yes.
45 points, largest margin of victory.
Wow.
San Francisco 49ers versus Denver. Most points scored in the first half, 35 by Washington against Denver. Most points in the second half of play, the New York Giants against the Denver Broncos. Most points scored in any quarter, 35 when Washington played Denver in the second quarter. Most touchdowns in a game. Super Bowl 29, San Francisco and San Diego. San Francisco scored 7, San Diego scored 3. Total of 10 touchdowns. We can see that record fall. Most net rushing yards and passing yards in a game. 613. That record could fall. Most net rushing yards and passing yards per game combined. 1,151. The
Wow.
Patriots and the Eagles. Yes. Most rushing attempts in a game. 57.
Whoa.
Pittsburgh versus Minnesota, Super Bowl 9.
That's a good one.
Most
I didn't know
rushing yards in a game by a team. Washington versus Denver. Highest average gain per rushing attempt, 7 yards. And that was Los Angeles Raiders against Washington. And Washington versus Denver. So Washington was a party of 2 of those games. Most rushing touchdowns in a game. By a team, this is, not by a player, 4. Chicago versus New England in Super Bowl 20. Denver versus Green Bay in Super Bowl 32. Most rushing yards in a game combined. 377 yards. Washington and Denver, most rushing touchdowns in a game combined, 4. It happened 4 times. Miami and Minnesota in Super Bowl 7, Chicago against New England. And the saddest part of that Chicago-New England Super Bowl, that the Bears scored 4 rushing touchdowns, and they did not let Walter Payton score a rushing touchdown. I still have a problem with
I
that.
love refrigerator going in. I love that.
I would have loved a lot more to see Sweetness get his. You know, San Francisco against Denver and Denver against Green Bay. Most first downs in a game, 37.
Wow.
Most first downs in a game. Most rushing first downs in a game, 16. I misread that. So there's some records that we could pay attention to this weekend, because there's about 150, maybe 200 records, and they've got records for, every possible thing. If you
Even
want,
the coin toss,
Jim,
right?
there's 47 pages here. If you want to take it with you, you might want some prop bets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I
I
already
know
got
you
money
were
on the
playing.
over. I got 54.
But
So they're going over that.
I believe
next
it.
week, I'm going to share some things here of some things that have never happened in a Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time because we've got things to talk about this evening. Alan's got some things to talk about.
Yeah.
I could take up to the end of the show, and I don't want to be a hog.
Thank you, Chip.
Good job.
We're going to go to On Location next. Good job back there.
Mark Ditbar throws. Here's a swing and a high fly ball going deep left, and they do it. Back to the ball goes Barry. It is over the Pirates.
From a very young age, I was exposed to sports in a great way. My uncle was on the first pro basketball team in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Ironmen. And my dad, of course, that was my hero. He was a basketball referee for over 30 years. Just been a passion in my life. And as I got older, I found out about horses. And I ended up owning a stable. And I was asked to be on a sports show with Roger Houston called the Meadows Racing Network. And when we were done, I said, boy, that'd be something great. Maybe someday I could have a TV show. Back in 2011, I had a conversation with some friends about sports that piqued my interest in how could we start a sports talk show on TV. Well, I found out I could go to public access TV in Bethel Park and I'd be able to produce my own sports talk TV show. The great thing about doing 2 sports talk shows on BPTV is I can share my passion about sports with thousands of people every week. If you are passionate about something that you would like to share with the community, I encourage you to come to BPTV and produce a show like I do. I'm Al Levine, volunteer producer of Pittsburgh Sportsline on BPTV.
BPTV. Come volunteer. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be here.
BPTV. Come on in, make a show. It's still fun after all these years.
He has done it. We're in the Stanley Cup final for the second year in a row, and here's Yager with the puck. Yager, nice move around Brett Sutter to the backhand. Lets it go, he scores!
Hi, Bethel Park. Uncle Al speaking. I'm asking you to come help us behind the scenes at BPTV. We're looking for some proud Bethel Park residents to help us make the shows that you want to watch. For more information, contact Station Director Dave Cable, and we will see you behind the cameras at BPTV. Back.
Back in the
We didn't even know we're back.
Sure.
All right, thank you. We appreciate that control room. They're a little bit off, but they're working on it. We appreciate them being here. They're great volunteers. On location, February 10th, Smokin' Jim Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 7:30 to 8:30. We'll be there. Got some guests lined up for the show. That Jax Miller, great running back from Avonworth High School. Smokin' Jim's trying to recruit him at Gateway, but he's graduating this year, so he's a little bit behind.
He got some brothers.
One. He has one brother, and they're not moving, but that's another story. And we got some great guests. Then February 17th, we're going up to Ambridge. John Panaris Agency. He's a tax man. If you need help with your taxes, look him up. John Panaris Agency. We'll be there at 651 Merchant Street in downtown Ambridge. So we'll be there at 7:30 to 8:30, February 17th. Then I finally got, the boxing match I thought was on the 14th of February is on the 14th, St. Patrick's Day, Saturday, in Millville Community Center. Right in Millville, so we'll be back doing some boxing in Millville. They love us in Millville, and we love them back. So check that out, March 14th. On March 16th, Judge Arnone and I are going to do a fundraiser for the Kidney Foundation in Bethel Park at Al's Cafe. They just approved the date is open, but we have to discuss a couple little particulars on doing the show there, so I'll find that out. But we got a date to do it so we can start promoting that we'll be there March 16th. That's the third Monday of March. So check that out. Al's Cafe, all you got to do is just Google it. You'll see where it's at. It's not that far away, about 7-8 minutes away from here, Smokin' Jim. So you'll find it. Great food, great place, and we'll be there. Let's see what else. We got boxing coming up at the Sokol Club in May for the Kevin Bachner fundraiser that they do. Thanks to Sam the Butcher Suska. He asked if we could do it, and I said we love the show and love what you do. He goes, he hopes he can do better than he did last year. I got my money on the Butcher doing better, so we'll do that. Got a couple other boxing matches coming up, maybe at Langley Middle school again, we'll be there sometime in the spring or early summer. So we got different things going on. If you think of a location where you'd like us to come out there, all you can do is ask. Some people have asked, and we're not going to be able to travel an hour and a half to get to some of these places, but we may be able to work a couple different things out. I did want to make another notice that Azazu, where I get my hair cut, the owner, Emilio, wanted to do a show with me because he was up here at the Market District in Bethel Park, and he said all these people come up to him and said, that Al Levine that does Pittsburgh Sports Line, he gets his hair cut at your place. We watch his show all the time. Well, when I got my hair cut a week or two after they did it, he goes, Al, these people were all in Bethel Park, Upper St. Clair. They loved you there. Can I be on your show? Well, I've asked them for 5 years. So he said, we're going to do a show at Azazu. So we're going to be there probably on a Saturday, since they're open on Saturdays. We're going to try to do a show. Great work on the camera, Zach. That yellow shirt looks great on me here. I appreciate it. Thanks for adjusting it. And that's where we're at for On Location. We're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit of Penguin talk. Or we'll just start right now.
Bethel Park Inline Hockey. It's fast, it's fun, and we want you to play. Inline hockey is just like ice hockey, but no ice, and significantly less expensive and far less of a time commitment. Way less travel than ice hockey, too. The sport is played on a specialized rink at the Bridgeville Rollerplex, RMU Island Sports Complex, Harmerville's Alpha Arena, Hot Shots Indoor Sports Arena, and the Murraysville Sports Zone. Our teams play in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Roller Hockey League, or the PIRHL. Each year, teams from elementary, middle, and high school play a 16-game schedule, plus playoffs, from October through March. Practice one evening a week and games on Saturdays or Sundays. The sport is recognized by the Bethel Park School District, which means student athletes can earn a letter once they reach high school. We play rivals such as Upper St. Clair, Peters Township, Canon-Mac, Pine Richland, North Hills, and so many more. This is no pickup game. You'll need regulation pads, hockey skates, helmets, and the coolest Hawks uniforms around. 2 refs at every game officiate 3 15-minute periods with a running clock. No icing, no offsides, no checking. But this sport will rock you. Registration is coming up, so check out our website at www.bpinlinehockey.com and sign up soon. Let's play!
Hi, Bethel Park. Uncle Al speaking. I'm asking you to come help us behind the scenes at BP TV. We're looking for some proud Bethel Park residents to help us make the shows that you want to watch. For more information, contact Station Director Dave Cable, and we will see you behind the cameras at BP TV.
No, I mean,
We're only.
I don't want to
Thank-
hog. I mean, I get a little segment. I don't want to. All right,
thanks.
everybody, welcome back.
5 minutes to go. This will be a
5
quick.
minutes ago, we're going to go quick because we want to touch on the Super Bowl a little bit.
Yeah.
We also want to touch on the Pitt Panthers and the Duquesne
Yeah.
Dukes and the Robert Morris Colonials and the West Virginia Mountaineers because basketball is alive and well in the tri-state area. So anyhow,
Thanks, Jim.
Pittsburgh Penguins signed Marcus Peterson to a 5-year, $20 million contract. And you know, the interesting thing is that Rutherford traded Daniel Sprong to the Anaheim what do they call it? The Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, the Ducks.
They traded them to the Anaheim Ducks. And him, Peterson, has become an integral part of the team that they signed to an extension. And Daniel Sprong can't even crack the 20-man roster for
Right.
Anaheim. So,
What a
a
move.
player that showed so much promise,
Isn't showing it now.
is actually playing his way out of the league. Well, there's always Russia or Czechoslovakia. Maybe he can go be on
Yager.
Yager's line.
He's still playing. Yager's still
So,
playing.
the second half of this is what could be considered the second half of the season, even though they're more than halfway through the
Beyond
year.
half, yeah, 30
The
games
Penguins
left.
are in a good position, and they just need to keep playing smart hockey. The Penguins have the 2 goaltenders they're going to need if they're going to make a run for the Cup. And Sid's only going to get better the stronger he
Sure.
gets after coming back from his core muscle surgery. So, hey, a lot to look forward to, a lot of excitement happening in the Igloo. Now, we've got the big game this weekend. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs on one hand,
Yeah.
who have not been to the Super Bowl since 1970. And the San Francisco 49ers, who could be the 3rd team to win 6 Super Bowls.
Yes.
So, each team, you could sit there and say, well, the 49ers are going to win because of their defense and their running game. Then you could look at the Kansas City Chiefs and you could say, well, they're going to win the game because of their defense and Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is, I think, the deciding factor in this game, and he's the reason why I like the Chiefs over the 49ers. I think if it comes down to it, and it's going to be the play of Jimmy Garoppolo versus Pat Mahomes, I say Mahomes takes it. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are Mahomes is also one of the smartest quarterbacks out there because he reads the defense and adjusts the play for that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with Sam Cable, who was on our show and predicted Kansas City. I'm on that bandwagon, Kansas City.
What about you, Jim?
I love Patrick Mahomes. Great young quarterback. Holds the ball too long. Can't do that against San Francisco. I wish the fan in me says Kansas City, but the football analyst in me says San Francisco. But the game will go over 54 points. It'll be a high-scoring game.
I believe that.
I believe the San Francisco 49ers pulls close to the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl rings. San Fran on paper is the better team.
Yeah, but you remember what being a championship caliber team on paper did for the Browns? But while I'm on it, I got to do this. The Cleveland Browns, a train wreck beyond anybody's belief, because here's what they did. They hired a head coach before they hired a general manager. They're hiring a general manager who's somebody's kid. I don't know who he is, but their head coach every week on Friday has to submit his offensive game plan to the analytic people, to the to the owner of the team, so he can review it and approve it for the game on Sunday. Wow. How many wins will that equate to?
We got to cut this short. We're out of time. Thank you very much for watching, and in honor of Joey Fabus, stay Joey strong.
Access TV station, BPTV.
Well, whenever Dave needs a volunteer, I originally got onto this. I came down to ask Dave to put a sign for the Rotary Club Pancake Festival in, and so I needed some volunteers and said, hey, I got some time. And my wife, we travel, and in the summer times we're not around, but it's something to do, and it keeps me busy. And I've met a lot of interesting people, and I encourage anybody that has some time or looking for something to do to come down and volunteer. I mean, learn how to run a camera, help out in the studio, whatever Dave needs, and I find it enjoyable. And it isn't something that you're volunteering where they expect you to come every Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is one of those arrangements where anybody that has some time, Dave will send you an email showing what he's going to schedule the next week, and if you have some time, you call up and say, I'll be there. And it's worked for me, and it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. And once I retired, then I volunteered here and been helping out here ever since.